Hey everyone, happy Motivational Monday. So another Monday has come and pretty much gone, and we are still in the same situation that we were in the last few weeks. And if you don't already know, my name's Emily Mackenzie, and I like to hop on here and talk about things that maybe I'm struggling with, or some of you have reached out to me saying you're struggling with them. And I figure if there's something that I'm struggling with, I'm probably not alone, and same with you. So I like to come on here and share it and share what's working for me and share things that I'm learning in my personal development and maybe help you feel normal and feel like you're not alone, and also maybe help you avoid some bumps in your road as I go over mine. So this week I wanted to talk about something so interesting. I love motivational speakers. I love podcasts that just make me feel like I'm on fire and ready to take on the day. And Tony Robbins is one of those people that puts me in that zone. And something that he said resonated with me, and this was months ago. And he talked about how we all have a default emotion. And that's not verbatim what he said, I don't remember. But that's basically the point. We all have a default mental state. And so mine is actually guilt, which is why I made that the title of this video. Mine is guilt. No matter what happens in my life, good or bad, I always turn to guilt. How can I feel guilty about it? And I don't do it on purpose. I'm not like, well, I need to beat myself up today. It's just that's what I go to. And some people choose joy. Like no matter what comes at them, they're like, cool, let's go with it. Some people choose fear. They're afraid of everything. Some people choose anger. Some people choose like sadness, deep sadness. And so we all, and I say choose, it's not really a choice because it just happens. It's like as soon as an event happens in your life, that switch is flipped and you go right back to your default emotion, your default mental state. And again, mine is guilt. So for example, let's say, I don't even know. Let's say somehow I'm walking down the road, and not right now because I'm staying home, but I'm walking down the road and someone's choking and I give them the Heimlich maneuver and I save their life. I would then feel guilty because either I didn't get there faster, maybe I was too rough when I did the Heimlich maneuver, maybe I was like awkward afterwards and was like, thanks, or something, and I would find something to feel guilty about. And it makes no sense because I just did this amazing thing, right? And okay, so maybe let's pretend that I'm a gajillionaire and I donate $1 gajillion to a charity. I would then feel guilty that I didn't donate it to this one, I didn't donate it that one, I didn't do it sooner, I did it too late, I didn't do enough, I did too much, oh my gosh, I could have done this. The guilt. Well, you could have and you should have and you would have those things. I make myself feel guilty, and it wasn't until I've struggled with this my whole life. And if you have any sort of mental health issues, then you know what it's like to struggle with what's going on in here. And I think everyone does to an extent, as long as you're self-aware. But I didn't even realize that until I heard Tony Robbins say, we have our go-to emotion, we have our go-to mental state. And then it clicked for me. And now every time I feel guilt, I'm like, holy crap, I don't even need to be feeling it, but that's my default setting. That's my, this is too hard to handle, so guilt. Like, it's like my brain goes into autopilot towards guilt. And my challenge for you is to figure out your default setting, your default emotion, your default mental state, however you want to phrase it, however it resonates the most with you. What is your default? What do you always go to? No matter what happens, good or bad, do you feel happy about it and you bounce back and you just keep going? Do you go into a depression and you need to sit and wallow in it and just feel all the feels and feel so heavy? Do you get mad and just lash out on everybody and everything and start like, I can't believe that would happen to me. Of course that would happen to me, and of course it was that person that did it. Like, where do you go right away when something happens? No matter what it is. It could be you're in traffic. It could be you won the lottery. You're still going to go to that place. And I challenge you to really do some self-reflecting, because I totally understand that most of us are actually busier than ever, and most of us are adjusting to this new life, and some of us are essential workers and we're out busting our butts every day, and I think that's amazing. But I also know that no matter where you are in your life and what you're doing, this is definitely a time for self-reflection, because we're alone so much more. Even if you're working, you might be working from home, or if you are out of the home, there's probably less people showing up at your work. And so we are somewhat isolated no matter where you are in this season. And I really challenge you to self-reflect. I challenge you to think, all right, something pretty amazing just happened to me this morning, but I went to sadness. Why did I do that? And be aware of it. Or, that really tough, I was in some crappy traffic and that person flipped me off, and then that one almost hit me and it was really horrible, and it took me forever to get to work this morning and it was already stressful. Did you go to stress? Did you go to guilt? Did you go to anger? Did you go to joy? Did you laugh it off and think, oh my gosh, these people need Jesus, and keep moving? Like, what was your go-to state? And it's funny, I just keep thinking of new ways to put it. Hopefully one of them is resonating with you. But I really challenge you to think, no matter what happens in your life, where do you go? What do you think? How do you feel? Because for me, it is guilt. And this week, more than ever, this month, I've had more time to really catch myself doing it, no matter what's happening. If Hannah's crying and I go and get her, did I get her fast enough? Well, I didn't. Oh my gosh, she's going to be scarred and she's going to need therapy. Oh my gosh, I'm the worst mom. And, if I hadn't been going pee for once, then I would have been able, I do that weird guilt thing and I beat myself up and it's ridiculous. And then it spirals, it snowballs into other things. And I'm upset the whole day. And, well, I'm a crappy mom. I might as well be crappy all day. Oh, I stink at that. I might as well not do anything because, I suck. It's like this whole mental spiral of craziness. And I really challenge you to become aware and figure out, what is that place that you go to? And I need to repeat, this came from Tony Robbins. I did not make this up, and he's actually way more legit than me. So please trust that this is a thing. He said something along the lines of, like, no matter who he meets, everyone has this state. And I think he was talking about his conference during 9/11, and he was actually at conference live when this happened, and everyone turned to a different emotion. Everyone turned to a different mental state, a way of being, and he kind of realized that is what we all do. We all have that. So again, I repeat myself a million times. It's the teacher in me. I challenge you this week. Catch yourself when something happens, no matter if you want to label it good or bad, no matter what happens to you. Or do you feel happy about it? Do you feel sad about it? Do you feel scared over it? Do you feel angry? Do you feel stressed? Do you feel guilty that it happened? And I really want you to challenge yourself to think, how can you work through it? How can you make it work for you rather than against you? And last week I was saying, is your life happening to you or for you? And so that kind of ties into this. If I'm feeling guilty all of the time, then life is just happening to me. I didn't get Hannah out of her crib fast enough. She cried for like 30 seconds and I didn't get her fast enough. And woe is me. I'm a horrible mom and she'll remember that forever. And I'm awful. So you know what? I'm just not going to drink water and I'm just going to eat a whole sleeve of Oreos. And then I'm going to feel guilty about that. Like all goes into this thing, and life is happening to me because I'm putting myself in this negative state. And so I challenge you to not only know where you're going, because it's going to be the same no matter what. I promise once you see it, it's going to blow your flippin' mind, because you're going to be like, I never noticed I always go to joy. I never noticed I just get ticked off at everything. And then once you notice it, I want you to challenge yourself. How can you wiggle out of it? How can you make it so that life is working for you? How can I turn my guilt over whatever into joy? And from now on, I am choosing joy, guys, and it's going to be work. It's going to be work all day, every day for the rest of my life, because I feel guilty all the time. That's where my brain goes. So I'm going to constantly work to get to joy. I'm choosing joy from here on out, because I'm telling you, there's never a single day in my life, there has never been a time when guilt has gotten me anything good. Never in my life. And if you have known me for any extended period of time, if we have gotten on a personal one-on-one level with this, you know how bad it has gotten, okay? I want to be real with you guys. I want to be honest, because you're taking time out of your day to tune into this, and I love you for that. So I'm going to be real with you. And I want you to know that you're not alone, and anyone that you know that has mental health issues, they are not alone. I have been to some dark places, and it's because I let guilt attack me. I let that come in and eat at me over nothing, over literally every step I take throughout the day. Do I do my makeup or not? Guilt. Either way. Do I wash my hair or not? I feel guilty whether I do it or not. Did I waste the water washing my hair? Well, I wasted the shampoo, I wasted the conditioner, I wasted the time, I could have been with my family. Did I not wash my hair? Well, now I'm disgusting, now my hair's greasy, and I should have taken care of myself. And, I could literally run you through everything in my whole day. But where are you going? Because mine is guilt, and it is horrible, and it is nasty, and it is awful, and it is straight up from the devil coming in my brain, and I am not allowing that anymore. I am going to choose joy. I am going to do the things that remind me of joy. And when something happens and that guilt creeps in again, I'm going to cast that out, and I am not going to let it make me spiral. And it is going to be work every single day, but I challenge you to do the same thing. I challenge you. And if you realize that your emotion is joy, I challenge you to celebrate that. When you feel happy about something, even though you're already feeling happy, celebrate it to no end. If your neighbors don't think you are crazy, you are not celebrating it enough, because there are people who would literally pay to feel that way all of the time. Okay, so again, find your default emotion. We have time to self-reflect. We have time to be alone and really know what our thoughts are, be aware of our thoughts, be aware of our emotional reactions to things, and I just challenge you to know what they are. Maybe even tally it if you have to. How many times did you react with sadness? How many times did you react with joy? How many times did you react with anger, with guilt, with fear, with all of those emotions? How many times did you do that, and which one's popping up the most? Because I guarantee it's the same every time. It's crazy. It's so crazy when you realize that you're going to be like, oh my God, I have to tell Emily. It's actually real. So also when you do that, let me know. And let me know what it is, because I'm telling you, it's going to blow your mind. And I want to be there. I want to be there even through Messenger for that moment, because that is so cool. And I'd love to help you work through it and tell you how I'm getting through every single minute of the day and help you through those things. But you're going to find your default emotion. Then you're going to figure out how to make it work for you and not against you. Figure out how it's hurting you every day, and then figure out how you can push through it and bring out the emotion that you actually want, the default mental state that you actually want, and it's going to be amazing. So if you feel comfortable sharing yours and you already know what I'm talking about, drop it in the comments. That would be amazing. Let people know that they're not alone, even if your emotion is joy. It's not bad. It's not bad to feel joy, and honestly, you're feeling joy over feeling joy because that's who you are. And I would feel guilt over it because that's who I am. It's crazy. But I'm working on it, and I want to help you do the same. This wasn't like my normal motivational Mondays. Normally I'm like screaming at you and like inches from the phone, but I just really thought that it was important to touch on it because it's been on my heart so much this week and it's popped up so many times. So do that. If there's something that you are struggling with, if you're reaching for a goal and you just keep hitting this roadblock, please let me know. Put it in the comments, send me a private message, whatever you need to do. I would love to speak on it and hopefully help you through it and help other people, because you are not alone in whatever you are feeling. No matter how specific your situation, other people are feeling that or have felt that before and can help you through it. And I'd love to help be the mediator for that if you need it. Also, if this was helpful and you think someone needs to hear it, tag them in this. Let's do this together. Let's do this life in this situation together, because that's all we have is each other through this whole thing. This whole thing called life. Not just right now, but for the rest of our lives. And also, scroll back and find my other Motivational Monday videos. I do one every week mostly, and then I put them on YouTube, so you can check them out on there. It's a little easier to find the videos and not have to scroll through my other posts. But thank you for your support. Thank you for giving me a chunk of your day and your week. And I hope this helps you turn your week into whatever you need it to be. This is a crazy time, but we can do it, and we are amazing. You can have and be and do anything. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time. Good night.